congratulations to the both of you on becoming the festive superstars of this year's Charmony Festival before entering the Grand Theater. I, on behalf of the organizers, extend my sincere congratulations to you, wishing you joy under their radiance. As previously promised, my sister, Mr. Yang, and I have met with the Dream Master. We delved into the truth about Penacony and its Stellaron, and have come to a consensus. Both I and the Oak family cannot acquiesce to your request.
Just as expected.
We acknowledge the perspective of you, Nameless. Penacony does require change, but not as you propose. The planet of festivities cannot and will not revert to a place characterized by chaos. Through your journey of overcoming obstacles, you must have glimpsed the essence of that era. The vulnerable ruthlessly eliminated, equality non-existent, common folk living precarious lives, eking out a dreary existence. Ultimately, only heroes like yourselves manage to achieve success. But I would dare ask, if you did not possess the special status of having a Stellaron, and you were but an anonymous and frail member among the masses, which Penacony would you prefer? A dystopia for the survival of the fittest, or a sweet dream paradise for all?
That's not the point! Don't let him mislead you!
Mr. Sunday, even if the members of the Oak family can't fully agree on what to do about the Stellaron, now's not exactly the time to be holding an extensive discourse about Penacony's past and future, is it? The Stellaron issue concerns the life and death of everyone on Penacony. If anyone has a better suggestion, the crew is more than willing to listen. Also, it'd be best to tell us the ins and outs of that meeting. This way, we'll at least know what Welt and Ms. Robin are dealing with, and the reason why they failed to make our appointment.
Ah, Navigator. That is precisely my intention. With all present, let's begin by discussing the details of that meeting. Let's talk about our tribulations and choices, our ideals and our final course of action. The only path to take.
You mean to say that for the longest time, there have been scoundrels who would use the Charmony Festival that I have bequeathed to the masses as a tool to realize their ambition?
Indeed, Dream Master. Once the Charmony Festival begins, the Stellaron's powers, along with the song, will be broadcast across the entire planet of Penacony. And then everyone in their dreams will be unable to awaken.
This is indeed surprising to me. The dreamscape is maintained by the collective effort of the 5 families. If someone were to use the Charmony Festival to recklessly disseminate the power of the Stellaron, do you have any suspects?
I'd like to ask, did you really not know of the Stellaron's existence?
I would have never thought that this Nameless would point the spear at me. Quite astonishing indeed.
If I have offended, the Astral Express extends its sincere apologies. But the current circumstances are dire and leave no room for meticulous inquiry. We're doing this out of concern for the Dreamscape's safety.
Dream Master, it's just to prove that the Charmony Festival has nothing to do with the Stellaron. If we're being overly cautious...
Sunday, Robin, I've watched you two grow up, and know your dispositions like the back of my hand. Both the magnitude of this matter is enormous, and cannot be taken lightly. Since Mr. Yang has asked with such earnestness, I will personally respond in kind. If there is Sunday, might I ask you to beseech them to cast their light unto me, and question me in their stead, so that no lies may be concealed?
I will do as you command.
Robin, could I entrust you to be present as a witness, to document the truth, and to proclaim my innocence, so that all slander may be utterly dispelled?
I will do as you command.
May thy will be carried out on earth, just as it is in the heavens.
Oh, triple-faced soul, please sear his tongue and palms with a hot iron, so that he will not be able to fabricate lies and make false vows.
Let us begin. There is nothing else to prepare.
Understood. Question. Have you devoted your life to your god?
Naturally.
Do you love your god as you do yourself? Always heeding their admonishments?
Naturally.
Have you strayed from the path expected by your god, betraying their name?
Never.
Have you ever been inordinate with your asks of your god, coveting more than the foundation of the creation itself?
Never.
Then, a final question. Do you swear to fulfill all vows, past, present, and future?
With the Eon as my witness, if I do not deliver on my words, or if I renege on my vows, may I be cursed in a...
They have seen your faith, and have endorsed your faith.
Just a moment.
What is it?
I have another question I hope to have answered. To my understanding, the family's harmony and prosperity have never relied on so-called divine law. The god you both mentioned, are they truly Shipe?
Mr. Yang should know that those belonging to the family toil together as if they were kin, embracing solidarity and unity under their light. Such a delicate and complex symphony. Which other god could perfectly harmonize this, if not for the Great One?
Perfectly harmonize. Therein lies the problem. It isn't an outsider lurking in the shadows who changed the harmony, but a dissonance that has surreptitiously emerged from within this very symphony itself. In the distant past, there existed an Eon. With one flick of the wrist, they crafted the laws of the cosmos. Their followers formed the Beyond the Sky Choir, spreading solemn and reverent hymns throughout the universe. Later, they fell. The route traversed by this Eon clashed with the harmony, ultimately being absorbed and fused into it. The chorus that once reverberated across worlds fell silent, and when it echoed anew, it was transformed into the hymn of harmony. Though an Eon may perish, paths with no masters still linger. In the all-forgiving harmony, echoes of bygone dissonance may subtly arise.
Mr. Yang, being overly astute can be a detriment. Especially...
So this is how it is.
For the sake of our grand cause, Sunday, please afford these two an opportunity to rest.
What?
Sorry, Robin. It's just you. I did not wish for you to know this.
So, this is the true reason I can't sing? The shadow that envelops Penacony is actually...
We were never children of the harmony. Our ideal paradise could not have been crafted by Xipe. True bliss can only be guaranteed by the one who transcends the many. Within the foundation of law, humanity establishes civilization, and through harmony, we obtain order.
Unbelievable. To think that there would be remnants of the Order on Penacony.
What have you done with Mr. Yang and Miss Robin?
Don't worry. I just gave them some time alone to ponder their fates.
You should know that these actions make you an enemy of the Astral Express.
Should we need to stand against the Nameless, it would only be myself and the Oak family involved. But we haven't reached that point yet. Your efforts for the justice of Penacony are evident to everyone, and have been widely observed. Patience is a virtue. However, I won't hold it against you. On the contrary, I'm here to make my intentions clear.
If it is the Order that drove you to imprison Welt and Robin, and you're using them to coerce our compliance, then there'll be no point in entertaining any type of discussion.
You're mistaken, Miss Himiko. They are in very safe hands, and just as the family has always proclaimed, no one can be harmed in the dreamscape. Least of Penacony and the entire universe have witnessed far too much innocent bloodshed. The strong wield their blades against the weak, and the victors push the vanquished to the brink of life. Natural selection. The world abides by this principle, establishing the well-being of humanity atop the corpses of the downtrodden. Only we, or rather, I, possess the power to put an end to this farce.
So you've decided to resurrect a dead Eon? No one's ever done such a thing.
If Miss Himiko is interested, let's draw back the veil and speak candidly. I've always firmly believed that people can understand one another through peaceful means. I'm willing to divulge the unembellished truth as to the intentions of the Order's Pathstriders, so that you will make better judgment for the Astral Express, for Penacony, and for this stretch of the universe. Words can hardly do justice to the beauty of that, so come with me, everyone. Let us retrace our...
Huh? Where'd he go?
Welcome. This isn't any location in Penacony's dreamscape. It's my inner world. The reason the scenery before you remains unchanged is because your consciousness has drawn on similar concepts to...
Did you do the same to Welt?
It's a tuning process. Stronger in effect and more draining on the mind. The gray-haired guest has experienced it before. Tuning allows you to intuitively grasp my feelings, which also means that I cannot hide anything from you. Now, everyone, please look at the huge screen. The road we once took begins. From this point on, you will witness the numerous decisions I've faced. I've selected a portion of these to share with you. I believe after going through similar predicaments, let's begin. The first decision. This story happened when Robin and I were very young. We were victims of the Stellaron disaster, and the family's Mr. Gopher Wood, who would later become the Dream Master of Penacony. Later on, Robin and I lived a time with nary a care in the world. One day, after dinner, while my younger sister and I were lounging about in Mr. Gopher Wood's, that baby bird was tiny. It didn't even have all of its feathers, and it couldn't sing. When we found it, it was already on its last breath. Having fallen into a shrub, we decided to build a nest for it right there and then. However, thinking back, that winter was unusually cold. It was clear that if we left the fledgling in the yard, it stood no chance of surviving until spring. So, we decided that when it regained its strength enough to spread its wings, we would release it back into the wild. The tragic part, something that we'd never considered, was that its destiny was determined by our momentary whim. Now, I pass the power of choice to you all. Stick to the original plan, and build a nest with soft net where the Charmony dove fell. Or build a cage for it, and feed it, giving it the utmost care from within the warmth of a home. I eagerly await your answer.
It looks like he really has no intention of imprisoning us. If it's just a quiz, back to the question. I would personally choose no special reason. I do think that a fledgling should have the right to fly into the sky.
I'm happy to see that you made a choice similar to ours. If your mind is made, we passionately nursed it back to health, preparing only the best food for it every day. We even preened it. I watched it for a long while by the window, probably about 3 or so days. In those 3 long days, finally, on the 137th attempt, it succeeded. But its attempt did not go. The fall shattered its wings. It writhed helplessly in my embrace. But it was all for naught, finally succumbing to a painful demise. I deeply regret the choices we made. Next. This story happened when I was appointed as Bronze Melodia, a position exclusive to the Oak family, charged with listening to the problems and vexations of Dreamscape residents, and providing them with the relevant guidance. It was during that period that I had the opportunity to hear voices from all corners of the Dreamscape. Joy. He was a dream chaser, and an illegal stowaway. Just like the rest of them, he came to Penacony in search of a better life, except that, to most, he told me, I sold everything I could at home. The house, the land, even his 2 children. He said he had a plan in place. He would buy back his children once he had made his fortune, and enjoy Penacony's beautiful dream with them. Alas, after hearing the Dream Chaser's story, I immediately appealed to the Bloodhound family to cease their pursuit. That way, at least he could live peacefully. But I was still too naive to the ways. I'll tell you the outcome soon. For now, I'd like you all to make a choice. Will you do as I did, and try to convince the Bloodhound family to stop their pursuit, so that the Dream Chaser may live peacefully and realize his wish? Or will you remain silent, leaving him to languish while the hounds are hot on his heels, until his inevitable judgment arrives? I look forward to everyone's decisions. Who knows? Perhaps they might even alter the outcome. It seems you, like me, are pondering whether a different choice could have led to a better outcome. Say he never gets caught. He would only die from delirium. The methods with which illegal stowaways enter dreams are unorthodox, not flawless like the hotels. Living in the dreamscape would be a mere pipe dream, should he be apprehended. Could the hounds afford to turn a blind eye? The answer is a definitive no. They couldn't bear the resulting As to your choice, I once again offer my heartfelt apologies. And the story this time is my own. This story happened the day I was appointed the Oak family head. At that time, Mr. Gopherwood was the current Dream Master. And as for his wish, we had a private... What surprised me was that the Dream Master had only come to deliver a letter to me. He let me read its contents, and it was a letter from my sister. The letter contained the usual pleasantries, anecdotes from her travels, nothing out of the ordinary. Just as I started wondering how this letter related to our discussion, the dream...
Do you know who wrote this letter?
My sister, of course. But why would you personally visit me to hand me a letter from my sister containing mere trivialities?
To help you grasp the full scope of this issue. Do you know where Robin is at this moment?
From what the letter indicates, she must be in Caspelina 8, correct? She's touring there right now.
Correct. Has she mentioned anything about a stray bullet?
A stray bullet?
What? A war has broken out on that planet. It is because of this very reason that Robin chose this destination. To spread the word of the Harmony. And to save the lives of that planet. She hoped to ease the people's suffering with song. And was willing to brave mortal danger to deliver the IPC's medical supplies. Unfortunately, Stray...
Is she all right?
If the operation was successful, she should probably be recovering in the field hospital. By the eon above, the bullet struck her neck directly, yet possibly as a reward for her consistent deeds of harmony. It didn't hit any vital arteries. Once you've attended to your outstanding
Those damned savages! I'll pack my bags right away. My gratitude for bringing this to my attention, Mr. Go. Now you understand why she always wears such elaborate neck ornaments, don't you?
How could this happen? Miss Rob...
It's all in the past, so please don't worry. I share this in the meager hope that you will understand the Harmony's limitations and predicament. As grandiose as the strong defending the weak sounds, many times, it is nothing more than wishful thinking. Likewise, I've prepared one last question, one last choice. But because this is merely a figment of imagination, a nightmare that has haunted me through countless nights. Would you still support Robin's journey on the path of harmony? I am now aware of everyone's stances. Raising these questions merely serves to illustrate one point. The plight of Penacony cannot be salvaged by the harmony. The true foundation for a sweet dream. I know the suffering of being tormented. The turmoil of losing your way. How sorrow, and even despair, set in when matters don't work out. All of this causes me unending pain. We must teach the weak how to live a happy life. And this life isn't some noble propriety that the upper crust preaches, but in definitive terms, a way.
So what is your definition of living a happy life?
Good question. Human consciousness is fundamentally an illusion, a cage known as self-worth. People lured in by this illusion make mistakes, yet still ask that external influences bear the burden. When one mistake after the next permeates the masses, they become impossible to trace. Thus, the amassing of these individual cages culminate to form a prison. Nature is always accompanied by predation and sacrifice. Its antithesis is what I want to do. Unite people's happiness under the banner of order. They won't need to make bitter choices any longer, nor face the weaknesses of humanity. They can cast aside their primal instincts. Simply describing thoughts is far too abstract, so allow me to provide a simple example. As you all may know, there are societal norms like during these hard-earned rest days, people are given the chance to extricate themselves from the stresses of everyday life. And it is only on these days that people do not have to adhere to the law where the strong prey on the weak. They can live out their lives happily during these brief intermissions. From where I stand, society's ideal system should be 7 rest days. Following Sunday, there should ensue a second, a third, and indeed an infinite procession of Sundays. And thus, every person can return to their base selves in this utopia. Some gaze in reverence at the stars, pouring their whole beings into calculating the distance between us and the isolated world of Pagana. Meanwhile, some seek refuge in quiet corners, holding one. There would be no need to bear the hardships of reality. Only in this way can humanity face the inevitable end with the purest. Miss Firefly, you who are stricken with entropy loss syndrome, you of all which...
It sounds like a flawless theory. But... what is the...
The cost is minute, merely a personal and eternal sacrifice. If this paradise is to be maintained for everyone, someone must remain trapped in solitary
Wakening. Which means that this so-called paradise is still a dream. Stepping into this paradise means forsaking reality.
It is not forsaking, but transcending. Flesh, blood, sorrow, weakness. If the physical is the root of spiritual suffering, it is only lost.
But in this supposed bliss, people won't have defeated their demons. The chance to overcome their tribulations would be forever lost to them. In other words, it isn't...
That's another way of understanding it. But there is no shame in escape. On the contrary, the seeds of escape... Don't you agree, Miss Firefly? And as to why we sleep, it is because we are afraid to... But this is not in conflict with the grand plan. Only in acknowledging this can we truly understand the frailty of human...
admit that you are a born leader. Your perspective on humanity brims with, but unlike you, I live for the self. From my perspective, individuals making choices for themselves is the want to escape may be innate in the weak. But whether they are weak or not, perhaps in your mind, you also view me as weak? Because I don't think so.
Since Miss Firefly has said her piece, the Astral Express will also naturally give you our answer. We'll leave it to you. Just as Mr. McHale instructed before. Tell him our choice.
What is this?
Does this place ring any bells?
I don't know, but I feel a sense of déjà vu.
It's the realm within a dream bubble. This was left to the Astral Express by a nameless, but weirdly, when we entered it, it was Dr. Edward from the Dreamscape sales store told me that dreams are formed from memories, and a dream bubble can't take shape if it's so. I thought you might be able to help us in unraveling this mystery, Misha. As a hotel doorman, you know Penacony best among us.
I don't know much about dream bubbles, but if you want to figure...
I'm counting on you then.
Himeko, I still don't get it. Why were you so sure that Misha had a connection?
I wasn't sure. It was just a hunch. But since Misha feels... Exactly. This is where you and Firefly encountered death, which we now know as dormancy. Considering its connection to Dreamflux Reef, it's not surprising it appeared here. The question now is, who brought you here? Based on the clues we have so far, it's unlikely to be that masked fool. We're drawing closer to the truth once more. Let's give Misha some time, as I believe he'll unveil this...
All right, but there are doors all over.
I guess... I'm not entirely sure, but... let's give it a try.
Wait, you managed to choose the right door?
Weird. This place is quite different from the hotel. But if I remember correctly, there should be a fireplace down that hallway. And the room on the other side was the toy room. I loved spreading out all the toys from the box. Hold on. This doesn't make sense. Didn't I grow up in Dreamflux Reef?
This could be a case of amnesia. But don't worry, Misha. It's common for everyone to forget certain aspects of the past. Those memories haven't, since this place seems familiar to you. Why don't we...
Yeah, then let's check...
Mikhail, that's the name. Now we all know him as the Watchmaker. So, who is he talking to?
I'm sorry. I don't know much about the Watchmaker.
Anything special about that name?
Mikhail is...
Grandpa? Do you mean...
But we haven't heard anything about the Watchmaker having descendants. And the name Mikhail is not rare. Could you tell us more about your grandpa, Mikhail?
Yeah, sure. He was a seafarer who fearlessly ventured into mysterious seas and storms. He was always on the sea and had lots of friends who accompanied him on his travels. He didn't want me to call him Grandpa because that would make him sound old. He believed he was still young. The name Mikhail was given to him by his parents, Mihaly and Elise. both renowned seafarers. Every time he came back, he'd share his logbook with me and tell me about his adventures at sea. I want to become a great adventurer, just like him.
It appears that the seafarer has nothing to do with the watchmaker. So, perhaps it's just... So, where is your grandpa now?
He went off on a new journey. And it's been quite a while since I last... So, where has Clocky gone? Did he leave to protect Dreamville? Tick-tock. I heard some noises from the room.
You and Origami Bird are friends?
Yeah. It's a member of the Compass crew. Just like Clocky and Miss Mirror. And there's more than just one Origami Bird. They are a big... They follow Miss Mirror's orders and handle all sorts of jobs on the ship. They're the best sailors.
Sailors? Can Origami Birds be sailors?
Could you tell us more about the compass, Misha?
The Compass is a ship bound for the New World. Clocky and his partners travel through layers of fog to the depths of the sea. Whenever there is danger, Clocky will use a compass and guide the ship in the right direction.
That's a great story. But in the Penacony cartoon, Clocky and his partners have always lived in...
Huh? Up weird. I clearly remember...
Perhaps Clocky has a hidden past.
I think... I hear the sound of water.
You once mentioned there's a magnificent fountain up ahead. Look, there it is!
The water resembles a precious jewel, embedded in the dreams of all seafarers. Every time I gaze at the shimmering lights beneath the waves, it feels as though I'm back in this place.
Have you recalled anything, Misha?
Yeah, I saw these sentences in Grandpa's logbook. He used to say that despite the perils of... He often said that those moments felt like returning to his family's side. And the difficulties at sea...
You know, I quite understand such sentiments. Hey, don't tease! I was just being a bit sentimental.
Perhaps every adventurer far from home carries a fountain within their soul. Even though the other side of the sea remains shrouded in the unknown, the fountain...
Yeah, while Grandpa was at home, we would stand by the fountain and place the compass. Back then, I would ask him when I could go on adventures like him. And he would always laugh and say I was...
It seems this Mikhail is truly a seafarer and has nothing to do...
Yeah, based on Misha's recollection...
But this raises more questions. According to Misha, he was clearly born on an oceanic planet, and could this be... some sort of... metaphor? Perhaps...
I'm sorry. I don't know, but... my memories keep pouring out. Perhaps I'll remember more things if we go further. I wish to share your burden.
We're going to the opposite side, right?
No. We should turn...
Huh? Something feels different about this.
Up ahead is... Grandpa's study. It was in that room that I saw him the last time.
The atmosphere in this room feels totally different.
Misha! You finally come!
Clocky! You're here!
Are those books on the bookshelf logbooks left behind by that seafarer?
Yeah. Whenever he came back, He placed a logbook on the bookshelf and he described our world as a fountain. At some point, the sea started to ensure that everyone had land to settle on. He had to continue exploring the sea. On that day, he called me to his study, telling me that he was embarking on another journey. I asked him if I could go with him, but he said that my adventure lay elsewhere, and told me to stay home. And patient...
What sound?
He told me about a vast ocean in the sky. An ocean of stars. He said that he knew the crew on the train, and that he had asked them to take me along.
A train?
It's the Astral Express! I remember now. Grandpa's friends are a group of nameless who came to... Then, he gave his pocket watch to me. It was his cherished treasure, appearing in every one of his adventure tales. He said, as long as I kept moving forward, I'd eventually the distant sound of a train whistle.
Exactly, Misha! And then we followed that whistle!
Yeah. I think I can still find...
This is the dream jigsaw, right? So we're supposed...
Do you remember? You said you obtained a mysterious shard.
Hey, the shape seems to match...
Looks like we're just one step from revealing the truth.
This is it. This is my room of clocks. While I spent my time waiting for Grandpa to return from his voyage, Walter gave me this workshop. Here, I learned how to repair clockworking gears out of my fondness of precision mechanics. In my dreams, I was the captain of the compass. I was born and raised here.
So, this building in the dream bubble?
Yes, but not exactly. This dream bubble itself is my...
Looks like you've remembered everything.
Wait. Why does it feel like everyone else knows something
Marge, do you remember when she mentioned a clocky that only
Yeah, the little guy here, right? But we all saw him in Dreamflux Reef.
Looks like everyone on the Astral Express has a childlike spirit.
The answer lies in the Astral Express. Her experience shows that neither Firefly nor Acker... And when we were in Dreamflux Reef, you may have noticed that for some reason, nobody outside... A mimetic life that can only be seen by a select few. It's just like a hidden message.
But Misha can see Clocky too, right? They even grew up together.
That's the key to the mystery, March. Now, have you ever seen anyone outside of the crew in...
Wait.
That's the answer, March 7th. This dream bubble is the place where I was born. And I should have stayed here and waited for you. But when reality and memories merged,
So it's not that the Watchmaker's dream bubble is empty, and the whistle you heard was the sound...
That's one way to see it, but I believe there's a longer... How about we start with your name? Now,
thank you all for helping me rediscover my true self. I was born on Lushaka, in the Presmere system.
adopted by seafarers Mikhail and Char. Mikhail Char Legwork. Or simply, Misha. If you prefer, you can call me by a more familiar name. The Watchmaker.
So, you're the Watchmaker himself?
Unfortunately, that legendary figure. As for the child who has been with you, he's the innocent protagonist of Misha's childhood dream. And this also marks the beginning of his journey. Devote
At the end of the journey, I left this little flame, which I so cherished, in my deepest dreams, hoping to pass it on to the nameless of future generations. However, he somehow left the dream bubble and forgot all about his task. I apologize for all the confusion this caused.
Because he was born with a desire to trailblaze, wasn't he? I don't think Misha has forgotten his role as a guide. He remembered it, and that's why he mistakenly appeared as a hotel doorman in her dream from the very beginning. The one who brought our unconscious friend here must have been Misha. If that's the case, we encountered the Watchmaker's legacy from the beginning, didn't we?
Well, I have a sarcastic friend who says I always take big detours and end up back where I started. Perhaps that, but in the end, you found me. I'm sure you're all wondering what my legacy is. I believe my hound has mentioned the Stellaron and my wealth. If I may apologize, the Stellaron part is real. As for my wealth, however, it's nothing. I left my homeland as a child and embarked on the journey of Trailblaze. I traveled to various planets until finally reaching Asdana, where I've been moving forward all my life, doing what I could to overcome the obstacles in my path. But ultimately, my journey reached its... So, if you ask what's left within this worn-out train engine that can be called a legacy, now that you're well aware of the current situation of Penacony, I certainly hope that you'll help me get this world back on track. But I'll leave that decision to you. For the path of Trailblaze is never... All I have for you is a story and 2 gifts. I want to give you my pocket watch. It has accompanied me throughout my long journey, guiding that naive child forward, and my hat too. The one who navigated for me placed it on my head and planted a fanciful thought in my mind. The trick now. It's time for you to make your choice. Once you've made up your mind, open that door. I'll be waiting for you at the end of this corridor of time.
All right, everyone. Let's make a decision. Although I don't think anyone will have any objections.
Of course. We've come this...
In that case, it's you. Then let's proceed together to the end of this stream.
Mikhail, where are you going?
Someone has to step up and save Lushaka. So why can't it be me, Misha?
Please don't go.
And if you must, please take me with you. Don't leave me alone.
Even without me, you know how to proceed forward, brave Captain Misha. The compass is waiting for you. Now go, board that train and start your journey.
Where are you going, Mikhail?
I'm going to clean the floor in the parlor car. I've promised the conductor.
Wait, first tell me, did you fix this watch?
Yeah?
I know what it looked like before. Its chain was broken, the back case torn, and the marks on the dial all worn out. How did you manage to fix it?
Well, it's hard to explain, but I knew it could be fixed. It's the hands, Mr. Amundsen. Its hands were intact and pointing in the right direction, so I knew there would be a way to fix the rest.
I see. You'll work with me from now on. Haven't you always wanted to tinker with this train?
But I only know how to fix watches.
Don't worry. You've got what it takes.
Where are you going, legwork? It's time to head to our next stop. I'm staying in Astana with Rosalina and Tiernan. I see. This place reminds you of the people of Astana have only achieved a tiny victory and still have a long way to go towards true freedom. Don't worry, not all journeys lead to the stars. Even if I leave the Express, our path...
Yeah. I knew you wouldn't stay on the Express forever.
This is Mr. Amundsen's hat.
When he departed, he said he would leave it to his best student. Farewell, legwork. Take care of Tiernan and Rosalina.
Don't worry, Micah. Just going on a little trip. Someone has to be at the forefront of the interstellar frontier, and I'm the only former nameless...
Because you're all we have! Have you forgotten about Tiernan? The cosmos is way more dangerous now.
But what will happen to Penacony if we don't find a way out? Ah, Tiernan. How could I ever forget him? I've spent countless sleepless nights. We Nameless won't stop. Don't worry, Micah. It's just a matter of getting back to my old profession. Just wait for me to come. If I don't come back in one piece, then you'll become.
Where are you going, old man?
Oh, you're here.
Answer my question. What are you—
Relax, Gallagher. I just came up with a great idea. Wanna hear—
Oh, come on! Aren't all your ideas just ways to get yourself killed? If you die too, the secret of the—
Yes. I'm afraid there's no way out in Penacony, so I'll have to consider We'll organize a festival using the Watchmaker's legacy as a facade, and send
So...
Desperate. Don't we have you here, my friend? This task is challenging. Make sure to send an invitation to the...
Misha!
Oh, it's you. Last night, I had a long dream about the...
Write it down? What?
Oh, so I won't forget it.
Of course! You told me that when you were a kid, you lived in a room full of clocks.
Yes, but what I didn't... I was a kid, and there was always a special pocket watch in my memories. I wanted to have a pocket watch like that.
Yeah. Every night.
But you know what? It wasn't until it was. So, your name should have been Compass and the Watchmaker.
We've arrived at Dreamflux Reef. So, where to next?
You know, Clocky, I don't think I'll be going anywhere else. I've traveled far enough.
Oh. So...
No, I'll stay here. And then...
This is... where it ends? You told me that the trailblazing expedition would never end.
Yeah, that's what I said. So now, it's up to you to decide your next
My next destination? What's that, Misha? You're acting weird today. If you're feeling down...
No, I'm not feeling down. As for clockwork, yeah, it resolves all problems in this dream. So, do you know what... Well, everyone gets lost at times. They may hesitate and doubt which way to go. That happens in this dreamscape and beyond. But don't worry. Everyone goes through moments of uncertainty and hesitation. Whether it's calming, joyful, angry, or sad. All they need is a little nudge to take that step toward where they truly belong. I'm leaving that little nudge with you, and I hope you'll share it with others. Such is the essence of clockwork, the will of the Trailblaze. Clocky's hands spin around non-stop, indicating confusion, frustration, and weakness. But ultimately, people still need to move forward.
Just like your hands, always pointing ahead. This is where my journey ends. From now on, it is your path to walk.
Trailblazing means taking paths your predecessors forswore and venturing even further. The Penacony in Mikhail's dreams does not belong to order.
I can't believe that Eon would cast a glance at Penacony at a time like this. Is it because of the resonance from the legacy of the Trailblaze? Or perhaps the bond between you is so strong?
Well, there might be another possibility. Perhaps they want to witness, on behalf of the fallen Eons, who will hold the future of Penacony.
If that's the case, on behalf of the Dream Master of Penacony and the 107,336 members of the Oak family, I'm cordially inviting you all to the Penacony Grand Theater to participate in the upcoming Charmony Festival. And, of course, since the future of the Stellaron, Penacony, and even the entire cosmos is at stake, let's draw. If you truly believe in Akavili's path, then show me their courage and determination.
Noise.
Noise.
Does that mean he wants to fight us during the
I'm afraid so.
This is weird. Aren't Arc villains usually plotting some dirty conspiracy in the end? But he actually said something like, in all...
Well, in my opinion, Sunday is deeply committed to his own philosophy. I sensed a strong conviction and a desire for dominance in him. Maybe he won't accept the outcome. That's why he'll give it his all in the upcoming.
Yeah, you're right. We've even dealt with a Lord Ravager of the Destruction.
Anyway, we can't leave the Stellaron unchecked. This is about trailblazing a bright future for Pennick. Now that we've taken up the mantle, we can't afford...
However, the same applies to the Order. Their plan did a desire to dream, to slumber, and they've harnessed the will of an entire
What do you mean?
I believe Firefly is...
Before I left, the Destiny Slave told me that this journey would bring unforgettable rewards. Even though this... Because one of the lines said...
3 times? This can't be serious.
The first time was a painful death when I was stabbed by the Blade of Dormancy. Which led to all... So now I've understood the meaning of my second death. And I am prepared to face it. Only by achieving victory in this battle can we secure a future for Penacony.
The most terrible form?
The true death. Where everyone in Penacony loses themselves completely in the eternal sweet dream of the Order.
We must do everything we can to prevent...
Have you made up your mind, Fire?
Yes.
Thank you again for your assistance for the Astral Express.
Yeah. Farewell, everyone. I dreamed of a scorched earth.
Everyone, are you ready?
A new shoot sprouted from the earth. It bloomed in the morning sun and whispered to me. Like fireflies to a flame, life begets death. May we meet again in reality.
After today, Japella's name will disappear from cosmic history, and the Everflame Mansion will take its place. That's your next stop.
Land of the Dreams.
I hope you find whatever you seek there.
You mean my 3 deaths?
Silverwolf told me about it. It's such a shame that it's not part of my script.
Well, I want to live. I'm never afraid of death. People die. And I am no exception. We have to choose where we want to rest.
Do you exist just to perish?
Are you not the same, Blade? The end you desire is not one dictated. If I were to die now, I would only, though its definition escapes me. Isn't this the answer that ordinary people look for their whole lives? The tombstone that belongs to me once bore the inscription, Glamoth's Iron Cavalry.
Then it changed to Stellaron. It will bear the name Firefly.
That's quite unexpected, old man. Who would have thought your crazy plan would... I can sense that this false sweet dream is coming to an end. The Nameless may be young, but they had the ability to achieve this. It's a shame you won't be able to see it firsthand. Maybe I won't either. Yeah, not just those Nameless. Even Mr. Wings is just like you. Stubborn, won't listen or give up. No, but in the end, we managed to do it. And now we can find solace. Remember how those idiots... Well, I don't know if they really meant it, but... If longing, then I'll be joining you soon, you old fool. Let's get together and have supper again in hell. Oh, I almost forgot. Here's to you. A glass of hello to the imperfect tomorrow.
It's warm here, isn't it? You're lucky to have found shelter from the rain.
I was just following the scent of life. It's particularly strong in a place like... It's a shame these berries don't have much flavor.
Seriously? In case you didn't know, this fruit, it becomes extremely spicy. Have you lost your sense of taste?
I can still taste certain things, like... Before coming here, I stopped by a place called Orkron. It had barren cliffs and nights lit by bonfires. Burgundy snow. The flavor wasn't exactly sweet, but it left a lasting impression. When I think back on my past, I realize... Don't worry about it. Losing oneself is a reality that every self-annihilator must face.
Well, congratulations on adding another footnote to your journey. By the way,
No, I had a companion in Orkron. She's a short, nameless girl who aspired to explore IX. She always said she'd walk a path deeper and farther than Akavilis. She became stagnant water.
Well...
Condolences. I don't need them. The girl left with a smile. She never regretted her choice and most definitely wanted me to say goodbye with a smile.
That's proof that you're grieving for her.
Or perhaps I'm just afraid.
Afraid? I rarely sense...
I'm afraid I'll forget the 30 days I spent with her. Just like all the other days in my life. Most of them have already washed away with the rain, disappearing into an unseen realm. I fear that those vivid red memories will fade away too. There isn't much color left. And besides...
Hard to imagine. A ranger accustomed to bloodshed, destruction, and chaos.
Because I have experienced this warmth many times. Long ago, I promised someone that I'd bring it to more people. As long as this red color still lingers, I have a chance to fulfill that promise. It represents a burning... In the end, it will lead me beyond the horizon of a...
The one blessed by the sleeping and... But you're right about one thing. After spending so much time near this step...
When will this rain?
Perhaps... when the sorrows of the departed...
Have you heard of a planet named Biari Scamandros, Don Hung? It's one of the Paradise Kingdoms under the influence of the Harmony. Half an Amber Era ago, the family held an unprecedented festival.
Do you think the same thing will happen?
Yes. Or how else can we explain it? The family deliberately used the watch.
Because of the nihility, I'm rarely affected by the power of other paths. But somehow I can
I would disagree. Biari Scamandros is not part of If the family messes with Penacony, that would be like declaring war on almost half of the factions in the cosmos. They have
No, they don't.
What do you mean?
The path in Penacony is impure.
Do you remember the ancient swarm disaster? Taser, 2 paths lost their eons in that war. The propagation and the
Shipe, the Harmony. Legend has it that they participated in the crusade against the Imperator.
Holy Forgaroni. So you're saying that—
But I don't see any descendants of the propagation in Penacony. Could it be that the remnants of Beyond the—
I can't say for sure, but they're definitely planning something for the Charmony Festival.
Dude, now this is getting way too complicated. Is this why you want us to leave Astana right away? Are you giving up?
The Charmony Festival will start soon. There's one thing that
I have another plan.
Hold on. Are you thinking of
Exactly. The assistance from the law.
Think it over carefully.
I have considered it thoroughly. My companions are...
Are you the only one here, my child? The Nameless is quite the diplomat. Our secrets have spread like wildfire within the family. And IPC starships are gathering. This is a crucial moment for us. So, where is the chosen one who harmonizes the varied sounds?
What do you mean, Master? I'm right here in front of you, aren't I?
You know, she was supposed to be the star of the Charmony Festival.
But the plan has changed. As her brother, I know she doesn't want to sing for the Order. So I'll take her place.
You've always been wise beyond your years. I'm sure you understand the consequences of your choice.
If you consider this a betrayal... Well, there can't be 2 suns in the sky. I'll step up and take down the other sun if necessary.
Do you believe in karma?
If karma exists, then everyone has their own karma. You have yours, and I have mine. And my karma has nothing to do with you, Mr. Gopherwood.
All right. Since you're willing to sacrifice yourself for her, I'll grant your wish.
Well, the compromise came sooner than expected. Why?
You and your sister were born as twins of the Order. And one of you is destined to follow this path to the end. Of course. You're still as clever as you were when you were a child. The opening is near. Go, my child. Seize the power of the Harmony
I have one final question, Master. Why did you choose to bring the Order to Penacony? Wouldn't it have been better to choose a desperate world, instead of a city filled with hope and dreams? Why?
It's for justice, my child. If we lose justice in our hearts, we'll make the same mistake as the Harmony did.
So, it's not you who manipulates the dreamscape with the Stellaron, but...
Well, that's where our conversation ends. Go ahead. The 107,336 souls of the...
I shall ascend to the heavens, becoming the scorching sun bathed in my light. My people shall flourish, while all evil shall be eradicated.
This is the interior.
It's quite exhilarating to be flushed into the air by Soulglad, but...
And not only that, the entire theater is... Even if we're late, a grand theater like... Let's explore around. Looks good. Let's improvise.
Your end approaches.
Just a little something. Think nothing of
On the still waters of oblivion.
it. Nap time.
Dreams do come true.
Savor it for me.
Reach the end of the story in your own way.
Gosh, the atmosphere here is so creepy and unsettling. Even if there's no audience yet, there should be some staff around. Why is it so silent? Yikes! They scared the life out of me!
Are these puppets part of the stage setup?
Something feels off. Where in—
There's no other grand theater in the dreamscape.
So Sunday's messing with us? He said we'd have a final show—
My apologies for the delay. I'm waiting for you behind the curtain. Following the Asdana tradition, history is a mirror reflecting the universe's true essence. Let's use this opportunity to delve into the writ within it. Naturally, the future takes. Let us commence with the dawning of the world. After the Dusk Wars, darkness veiled the sky, and chaos consumed the earth. Enna the Order emerged, destined to restore all existence. That marked the first day. They gathered nebulae and forged them into picks, thus creating a grand lyre with black and white keys. Strike the white keys, and the sun rose. Strike the black keys, and the moon rose. And so, the cycle of day and night arose. That marked the second day.
Let's improvise.
The fight is set.
Destined for oblivion. Let the show begin!
I'm okay.
On the still waters of oblivion.
Nap time.
Failed to send you.
Destined for oblivion.
Reach the end of the story in your own way. Is that all?
Dreams do come true.
Your end approaches.
On the still waters of oblivion.
That's better. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Too little. Failed to send you. Savor it for me.
Let the show begin! Destined for oblivion. Still the same old. On the still waters of oblivion. I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
I'm okay.
Failed to send you. Savor it for me.
Looks good.
The puppets are gathering around the frame. Are they expecting us to enter it? Where are we now?
The atmosphere here looks similar to Sunday's inner world. This act is named Ode to Prisoner. Given the atmosphere here, I believe it's about Penacony's past.
I thought things were finally looking up as I managed to dodge prison during my recent trailblazing expeditions. But now it looks like I'll be back behind bars again.